And I am inspired by all the brave women who came forward. But more importantly, I believe them.
I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances.
After nearly 5 months, an independent investigation has determined Governor Cuomo sexually harassed several women, but the governor continues to deny he did anything wrong. Good evening, everyone. New York Attorney General Letitia James says her office's investigation has determined that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed 11 women while in office.
That report says Cuomo sexually harassed former and current state employees, violating the law, and as a result, even his longtime allies are calling for him to resign. Just moments ago, President Biden addressed the results of the investigation, and here's what he had to say.
I think he should resign. I understand that the state legislature may decide to impeach. I don't know that for a fact. I've not read all that data.
President Biden again calling on Governor Cuomo to resign. We have team coverage tonight, starting with Allie Peters, breaking down what's in that report. Allie?
Attorney General Letitia James says Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women and created a hostile work environment that was, quote, ridden with fear and intimidation. The investigation involves speaking to nearly 200 people, including current and former members of the executive chamber, state employees, and those who often interacted with the governor. A months-long investigation revealing Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple current and former state employees,
Many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments.
The investigation involving more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, audio, photos, and video, and interviews with 179 people.
Governor Cuomo's administration fostered a toxic workplace that enabled harassment and created a hostile work environment where staffers did not feel comfortable coming forward with complaints.
In response, Governor Cuomo denying the allegations in a pre-recorded video, saying he never touched anyone inappropriately.
I am 63 years old. I've lived my entire adult life in public view. That is just not who I am.
The governor addressed specific allegations against him, including one from Charlotte Bennett, a former aide who said the governor asked her inappropriate questions about her sex life. The governor said Bennett had told him she was a survivor of sexual assault, and he attempted to share his own family's experience with surviving assault.
Charlotte, I want you to know that I am truly and deeply sorry. I brought my personal experience into the workplace, and I shouldn't have done that.
Now you can read the full investigation against the governor and hear his entire response on our website, rochesterfirst.com. Live in the studio, Allie Peters, News 8.
All right, Allie, thank you. Our team coverage continues now with Jack Watson in the newsroom. Jack, what happens now?
Maureen, there's a few things we're going to focus on here: the political arena, the civil arena, and the criminal arena. First, politically, his position as governor, he could resign, which he has said he will not do. He could continue to push back against the claims. He could also be impeached by the state legislature. The state assembly would have to draw up articles of impeachment, a trial in the state senate, 2/3 majority to convict. Next, civilly, he could be faced with civil claims from individual alleged victims. And finally, the criminal element, Governor Cuomo has not been independently charged with a crime by the Attorney General. There isn't a criminal element to the AG's report itself. That's what Paul Keneally, a local employment attorney with Underberg and Kessler, told me this afternoon. He speaks on the report now.
There's no indication of any criminal referral or criminal charges based on this. This report has concluded that he's violated the civil law of sexual harassment, retaliation, failure to investigate, hostile work environment, all those civil things, but there's nothing criminal that I've seen at this point.
Also into our newsroom within the hour from the Albany County District Attorney. They are formally asking for investigative materials from the AG's office, and they welcome any victims to contact them. Albany Police nor New York State Police offered a comment. Adam.
All right. Jack Watson, thank you. Turning now to Christian Garzone live in Rochester. Christian, a lot of reaction pouring in from lawmakers on this announcement today. What are they saying?
Well, after watching the governor's response today, Assemblyman Harry Bronson at first thanked the women who came forward, saying that must have been an incredibly difficult thing for all of them to do. He said the governor trying to make this a political attack or score points with the public is, quote, offensive. Assemblyman Harry Bronson, a Democrat, again saying it's time for Governor Cuomo to resign.
The number of women who came forward speaks volumes.
Bronson called Cuomo's response, quote, polished, and belittles the process that took place. He said for the good of the state, Cuomo needs to go. If Cuomo vacates his office, Bronson says we'll move right on forward with the lieutenant governor.
If he doesn't resign, I think the Assembly conference will be meeting and having discussions.
Discussions, he says, on impeachment. Cuomo, he says, has other things to answer for.
Well, let's remember, he also has some serious concerns and complaints regarding the COVID situation.
Senator Brooke today also reiterating her call for Cuomo to step down.
The stakes are higher when you're a public official. The expectations are higher when New Yorkers are voting you into office.
Bronson, once a political ally of Cuomo, especially when it came to marriage equality. Bronson tying the knot just a few weeks ago with his husband.
I will forever be grateful to the governor for being a piece of that movement.
But he says that does not excuse what the Attorney General revealed today.
Those good deeds cannot be used as a reason not to hold him accountable.
Now, when it comes to the few apologies Cuomo made in his video, Bronson said those were important, but he did not apologize to all the women involved. On University Avenue in Rochester, Christian Garzone, News 8. Adam Maureen, right back to you.
Thank you, Christian. I want to go over some more reaction now before we move on from this story. On a list, the Director of Planning and Development for Monroe County is one of the women who accused the governor of inappropriate behavior. She said in part, quote, thank you to everyone who expressed support out loud and in whispers. Rochester Chamber of Commerce President Bob Duffy, former lieutenant governor, said of the announcement in part, quote, the responsibility of leaders is to establish a positive and safe work culture. It is unfortunate to see that this investigation concludes the opposite is true. He does not say whether he thinks the governor should resign, though. Meanwhile, Congressman Joe Morelli saying of Governor Cuomo, quote, it remains clear that he cannot continue to effectively govern and provide the leadership our state needs during these unprecedented times. We will be sitting down with an attorney on News 8 at 5:30 to break down more of what comes next for Governor Cuomo following this investigation. In the meantime, for the latest developments on this story as it happens, just log on to our website, rochesterfirst.com.